They finally done it. They finally changed the Rocketeer so that its Deadzone range is no longer that big. Well, at least early on. But have they changed it enough so that it's no longer the worst tower in the game, as some people have considered it? I think calling it the worst tower in the game is a bit harsh to the old bat person, but I would say it is one of the least used towers in the game. Yeah, like if you ask me, I would take the mortar over the Rocketeer, even if there was only one cliff spot any day of the week. I can't lie. So the Rocketeer costs 1,500 to place down compared to the 2,000 it used to cost before. Now it still has Deadzone range, and the Deadzone range is still quite significant. It's 10 compared to the 12 that it was before. However, it's not over half of the range that it was before, but you still need to be very, very considerate about where you place the Rocketeer. Like, if you ask me, I think the Deadzone range should be about, like, 8, probably, but, you know, 10's fine. Covering over half of the range with Deadzone is, well, at the start, wasn't a great idea, but, you know, here, at least, there is, like, over half of its range isn't covered with Deadzone, but that's fine. To compensate, its splash damage has decreased from 40 to 30. Its fire rate has decreased from 5 to 3.5, so therefore its DPS has actually increased. Its explosion range has increased from 2.5 to 3, therefore its DPS has increased from 7.99 to 8.55. But it sounds like barely anything has changed, but combined with the explosion range increase, plus the fact that the Deadzone range has actually been decreased, plus the fact that explosion range has increased, therefore means that it's a buff. It is a buff at least. Therefore, its cost efficiency has actually changed from 250 to 175. So, cost efficiency wise, it's pretty good. I mean, the problem is, like, it's mostly the Deadzone range is the major thing holding it back. Oh, and the fact that it probably doesn't have hidden intersection at any level, probably. Oh, no, it does have hidden intersection. I forgot. Yeah, no, it has hidden intersection at level 2, actually. I forgot. It does also have a placement limit of 8. But, you know, that's fine. Meanwhile, at level 1, its upgrade cost has decreased from 300 to 250. So its total cost has decreased from 2,300 to 1,750. The only things changed here is its fire rate has decreased from 4 to 3. Its damage has decreased from 40 to 30, but that's because of the level 0 thing. Deadzone range decreased from 12 to 10 because of level 0. Explosion range increased from 2.5 to 3 because of level 0. So its range is the same at 22 because of level 0. So actually the DPS is the same at 9.98 because the fire rate and the damage actually just cancels out. Therefore, the cost efficiency is the only thing that's changed here. So it's changed from 230.46 to 175.35. So yeah, pretty much a standard level 1 upgrade. Doesn't change much for the Rocketeer, just slightly better than placing down another Rocketeer. Meanwhile, at level 1, for like, it's rare for an explosive tower to have hidden detection, but the Rocketeer has hidden detection at level 2. So if you want an explosive tower that can deal with the hidden boss, go for the Rocketeer, because the mortar can't deal with it. So yeah, that's the one thing that the Rocketeer has over the mortar. Hidden detection. Speaking of which, I need it right now. So yeah, please save us, Rocketeer. Save us, Rocketeer. You're the only one that can save us. However, the upgrade cost has increased from 1,250 to 1,600. So its total cost has increased from 3,550, decreased from 3,550 to 3,350. Damage has actually increased from 70, decreased from 70 to 60. Fire rate has decreased from 4 to 3. Range has remained the same at 25. Deadzone has decreased from 12 to 10. Explosion range increased from 2.5 to 3 because of level 0. So therefore, DPS has increased slightly from 17.47 to 19.95. So cost efficiency has actually decreased from 203 to 167. So interestingly, even though the Rocketeer gets hidden detection at this level, it's the best cost efficient level to get to, which is interesting for a hidden detection upgrade. So yeah, effective hidden detection, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, it can't hit flyings, so the mortar is the... It's like the mortar's the explosive tower for the flyings, and the Rocketeer's the explosive tower for the hiddens. And like ordinarily, you would think that because the hiddens are more common, the Rocketeer would be more useful. But because of Deadzone, people probably prefer it less. Then again, though, it's Deadzone. I mean, yeah, it covers a significant amount, and you have to consider it more, so it can't be placed like a usual tower. But, I mean, its Deadzone is less inconvenient. I mean, it is an inconvenience still, so I can totally see why people probably won't use it as much. I think it could be used. Somehow, I think people may find some uses for it because of its hidden explosive ability. At level 3, its upgrade cost has actually increased from 5,500 to 7,500. So its total cost has increased from 9,050 to 10,850. Its damage has increased from 135 to 150. Its fire rate has decreased from 3.5 to 3. Its range has remained the same at 25. Its dead zone range has remained the same at 10. So at this point, dead zone range would have decreased in an upgrade beforehand, but it's remained the same here. Its explosion range has remained the same at this level at 4. So the only thing that has changed is the damage at this level. So here, the DPS has increased from 38.48 to 49.87. So the cost efficiency has decreased from 235 to 217.57. To be fair, I don't think, at this point, I don't think people really care too much about the Rocketeer. It was just that at the lower levels, it was barely usable because of its dead zone. I don't know about this level. I don't think people care too much about this level. Like, sure, I'd prefer if the dead zone range would be decreased to like 8 or something. But, like, it's fine, I guess. It's like, it's like, with the extra damage, it's certainly good, but not ideal. Finally, at level 4, its upgrade cost has increased from 18,000 to 20,000, so its total cost has increased from 27,050 to 30,850. Its damage, though, has increased from 275 to 400, so quite significant. Its fire rate has remained the same at 3. Its range has remained the same at 28. The dead zone range has remained the same at 10. Its explosion range has actually decreased from 5 to 4.5, but its damage has increased significantly. And its DPS, therefore, has increased from 91.42 to 132.98. So its cost efficiency has decreased from 295.89 to 231.99. Now, if you ask me, it's fine. I would have seen, I wanted to see better from the Rocketeer, and also I think the projectiles are slightly faster from the Rocketeer. The thing with the projectiles is they're not counted in for the fire rate, so I think the Rocketeer does actually fire faster now, so that's good. So yeah, I guess it is more powerful, and actually I would like interesting to see how well it fares on bosses. But yeah, like, it's powerful. Don't get me wrong, it is quite powerful, very powerful. It's expensive though. Like I said, I would have liked to seen it have, say, less of a dead zone range, but it's perfectly fine for what it is. It's an intermediate tower. It's not like the mortar where it's like level 75. I still prefer the mortar. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, it can't see hiddens, but let's be real. The explosive tower, hiddens aren't the major of concerns. And let's be real, the only time that you really need an explosive tower to hit hiddens is probably the hardcore mode, and that 3-wave hidden shadow boss wave in particular. But yeah, the speed, like, the Rocketeer is fine. It's, I guess, usable. I don't know if people would consider it meta. It's buffed, I guess. It's just the dead zone. I think people just still don't like the dead zone. It's just slightly too big at level 4, sorry. Yeah, but I mean, I guess because it deals 400 damage, like I think the only other tower that compares is like the Ranger. So, you know what, fair enough. Don't want it to be like the Ranger on the ground, basically. Like, yeah, the Rocketeer deals quite well, actually. Okay, it's quite well against bosses as well. So, yeah, versatility, quite good. So, yeah, just consider that as well. Single target DPS, quite good for, like, because, yeah, 100 DPS. So, yeah, fairly well. Not a bad tower, but I don't think people will consider it meta. But we'll have to see.